Welcome to Module 3. This is the unit on earning power. And this is more than just a paycheck. So you might be thinking to yourself that working full-time, it seems like it's going to be a long time from now. You're a high school student. Why do you need to think about working 40 hours a week? But what you do today, it can greatly expand or limit the options you have for many years to come. Everyone has skills and talents, and we need to be able to make the most of our career. And our potential is determined by ourselves. The first lesson in this unit is called Invest in Yourself. So in this lesson, we're going to explore the payoffs of investing in yourselves through education and by continually developing your skills. So along the way, we're going to discuss how important it is to invest in yourselves, what value you can get from that, and we're going to discuss what you can do now and throughout your work lives to make sure that you are always improving and developing your skills. We're also going to identify how education can impact future earnings, as well as list strategies to minimize the costs of advanced education. So continuing education, it's one of your best chances for securing a good job so you can live a life that you want. You can invest in training and education throughout your career, and that can pay off in salary increases and promotions, as well as give you fallback options just in case you encounter a work interruption like a layoff. So in this lesson, we're going to explore ways to help you maximize your future earning potential in order to achieve your dreams. As a young person, you might not think that you have been very successful in life, but I promise you, if you think about it, you are going to find areas in your life that you have been successful. Let's look at some ideas. These are some ideas of other high school students in the area and their successes. So one student taught themselves to ride a bicycle when they were 8 years old. Another one is a great cook. Someone created their first work opportunity when they were 14 years old. Somebody else had perfect school attendance last year. Another individual is a teacher's assistant at their Taekwondo class, and one other person fluently speaks at least 2 languages. In order to know how to invest in yourself, you have to also see the value in who you are as an individual. I want you to think about ways that you feel you've been successful already, even during your young life. You're only in high school, and you might feel like you haven't performed a lot or been successful in many things, but I promise you, if you think hard enough, you're going to find that you are a very successful individual. So right now, I want you to get a piece of paper out, and I want you to create a list of your personal successes. I want you to think about the awards or honors you've achieved. You could also write down the successes in school or in clubs or sports that you've had. Think about your personal skills. What are some things that you can do better than most people that you know? I want you to list as many items as you can that show your success as a young adult. At least go for 10. If you can at least give me 10 things that you feel you've been a success with, that would be great. If you can't come up with 10, I want you to list as many as you can in the next 2 to 3 minutes. So while you're doing this activity, go ahead and pause this video and write down at least 10 or more ways that you feel that you have been successful in your life. I hope that now that you've completed this activity, that you kind of feel pretty good about yourself. There's always some great things that you can feel proud of when you find and list your successes. Maybe you couldn't identify 10 areas of success in your life. If that's the case, I would encourage you to go home and talk to your family and friends and ask them what areas you excel in. So you might be thinking to yourself, why is this such an important thing? And well, one of the reasons this is important is because it really does increase your self-awareness, who you are as a person. A lot of the times, your success translates into job skills. For instance, this individual who is a teacher's assistant in Taekwondo, being a teacher's assistant is quite a great success. This is an individual who is organized and on time and can work with many different types of individuals. That is a great job skill to have. Somebody who has perfect attendance at school means that they're probably very dependable. They're being at school all the time. They didn't skip any class. That is a dependable individual and somebody who an employer is going to look at and say, hey, that's a great skill to have. Being a great cook, that translates right into going into a job that might involve cooking or food preparation. I think it's also very important to know what you're successful with, because in interviews, your prospective employers might ask you what you believe that you're good at. These are also things that you could translate into as skills that you could put on a resume. So you're a good cook. If you're looking for a job in a restaurant or a fast food store, then you could explain all of the skills that you have that make you a good cook. Just because I think this is such an important activity, I'm going to extend this and have you create something out of your successes. I'm going to have you create a name tag. Remember those hello, my name is name tags that you've probably seen at different events? You know, these name tags. Well, I'm going to have you create your own. Now, usually you would just put your name in there, maybe your first and last name. But I want you to look at the list that you just made and try to come up with 1 or 2 adjectives that summarize your success, your skills, or your talents. But there's one catch. The adjective that you choose, it has to begin with the same letter as your first name. So, for example, if your name is Sam and you are a really good singer, you might write, hello, my name is Singing Sam. Or maybe your name is Bob and you can speak 2 languages. You might say, hello, my name is Bilingual Bob. Perhaps you're really good at selling things and your name is Ellie. You could write, hello, my name is Entrepreneur Ellie. Personally, I believe that I'm a pretty good actress and my name is Amanda, so I might say, hello, my name is Acting Amanda. So go ahead and pause this video and create a name tag that you could wear with pride that describes some of your successes and also has a word that starts with the first letter of your first name. All right, I really do hope that you had a fun time creating a list of your successes and creating a name tag that goes along with that. So let's preview what we're going to do in this lesson. Today we're going to answer these questions. We're going to answer the question, what does it mean to invest in myself? We're going to see if education really does have an impact on future earnings. And we're also going to learn how you can minimize the cost of advancing your education. So right now you have free public education, but if you want any type of training in the future, you're going to have to pay for it. I want to give you some tips and tricks about how you can minimize that cost. Then we're going to use what you've learned today to outline a plan to invest in yourself through education and by continually developing your skills. So for our next activity, I want you to look in your binder for this worksheet. It says, what is it worth to be in class? I'm going to have you complete this, and I want you to use this to explore the payoffs of investing in yourself, which includes continuing your education. So, the directions at the top tell you to calculate how much getting that high school diploma is worth. So, they give you the average lifetime earnings for a whole bunch of different degrees. If you have a professional degree, you could earn $159,000. Now, a professional degree, that's usually somebody like a lawyer or a doctor. Their professions, they have professions, and they work for that for many, many years before they actually get into their job. Somebody with a doctoral degree doesn't actually mean that they have to be a doctor, like a medical doctor, but this is somebody who studies in their field. They could be a teacher, they could be a historian, they could be a philosopher, but somebody with a doctoral degree is going to make about $3,525,000 in their life. A person with a master's degree, which means they did 2 years after a 4-year college, somebody with a master's degree is making $2,834,000 in their lifetime. A college graduate with a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year college, on average, they will make $2,422,000 in their lifetime. Somebody who goes to college for 2 years and earns an associate's degree makes $1,813,000. Somebody who goes and gets a high school diploma, that's a standard or an advanced diploma, or gets their GED, which is a test that they can take rather than staying for 4 years of high school, they make $1,371,000. And somebody who doesn't have a high school degree, they earn less than $1 million. They only earn in their lifetime $936,000. Now, the key here, the key word is that word lifetime. Lifetime means it's when you started a job until you either pass away or you retire. This is not talking about how much money you're earning per year. Okay, if you think about those people, sports or music artists, that they are not included in this. We are looking at people who have these types of degrees. Less than high school or a high school diploma, 2 years of college, 4 years of college, or after 4 years of college. Step number 1 tells you to figure the difference in the potential income between a high school graduate and someone who did not go to school beyond the 9th grade. So difference means to subtract. And so they took the information of somebody who has a high school diploma and somebody who did not go to school beyond the 9th grade. So if you take these two numbers and subtract them, you will have this answer right here. All right, so I have my handy dandy calculator out on the screen. So I take 1,371,000 and I subtract it from 936,000. And I get an answer of $435,000. So $435,000 is the difference between getting a high school diploma and getting less than a high school diploma. So next, the directions tell you to divide the potential additional future earnings for a high school graduate. So this number right here, this $435,000, by the number of years that you typically spend in high school. So I'm going to take this number and I'm going to put it in that box A, $435,000. And now we're going to take that number and divide it by 4 years. That's the number of years that you typically spend in high school. Oh. All right, so I'm going to take this number, divide it by 4. And you get $108,750. $108,750. All right, then it wants you to take this answer, the additional future earnings associated with each year of high school, and it wants you to divide that by the number of days of school that you have each year. So I'm going to take that number, and there's 180 days of school each year. So I'm going to take this number and divide it by 180 days, and you get $604.16 or 17 cents. $604 $1.17. And it says this is the value of a day's education for a high school student.